Hi, I'm Ariana. Nice to see you all.
Hi, Ariana. How are you?
I'm
Hey,
great.
hey, hey.
So, there's nothing worse than a woman scorned. Should Terry be afraid for his life, not just with the streets, but with dealing with both of your characters?
He
Yes.
should.
What do you think? This is for Da Vinci and Lala. Why is Terry attracted to Markisha?
Terry,
You
why are
know,
you attracted to Markisha?
I think Terry is so attracted to Markisha because she is just offering him something in life that he's never seen before, and she is singing the song that he wants to hear, and she's helping him elevate and gain his independence and become that man that he always wanted to be. So I think that right there is like it's so enticing for him. And on top of that, she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She's smart and all that stuff, and he's really attracted to her. So, but then she has that going for her too. So to me, he's like, "Yo, I'm in love."
And I definitely think for Markisha, she sees something in Terry that she wants to help mold and bring out. She sees his passion for wanting to be great at whatever it is that he's doing. And I think she really wants that. She wants to see him reach his full potential. So that's part of her attraction to him. And also just new energy and a new person kind of paying her attention and making her feel seen. I think, for that's something a lot of women will be able to relate to.
Yeah. Sydney, what do you think Lawanda is willing to do to kind of keep her family? Because she's already been listening to advice from Mama Lucille. Do you think she is willing to do what she needs to do to keep Terry, or do you think she's going to walk away?
Oh no, I don't think she's going down without a fight. I think I think she's gonna try as hard as she can to fight for her family. Also, because she has kids with Terry, it's not as easy to let go of. So I think she's fighting for, not just Terry, but her family. So like I said, she's not going down without swinging.
Eventually, speaking of the man that Terry wants to become, he left the drug game at the end of season 1, which I was like even crying. I'm like, can't you just be a teenage drug dealer with your brother? You're breaking his heart. But do you think he really can stay on the straight and narrow?
No, he can't because it's just his environment, and environmental factors is very important. I mean, is that nature versus nurture thing, and because of that, his environment is just pulling him towards the streets. As much as he want to leave it and walk that straight and narrow path, it's always going to be that thing that's just tugging on him because he's just consumed by it, but he just don't
Yeah.
want to admit it yet.
Yes. And Lala and Sydney, both your characters really aren't in the street life. You're kind of just a part of it by proxy. Why do you think both of your characters are okay kind of shrugging that away? Do you think it's just the environment as well?
I think good girls always have a thing for quote unquote bad boys. And I just think that it's providing a lifestyle for us, for our characters. It's providing it's kind of like all we know. So it's easy to turn a blind eye to it as long as you're being taken care of and you feel, like you have the things that you need. It's kind of like, well, what else do you expect them to do?
Right, right. Yeah, I saw on social media somebody was like, Lawanda won Terry out the game, but then she won a new wig every week. So I feel that's like you said, it's like, I mean, that's how he's providing for our family. So, I mean, do what you gotta do.
This is true. Speaking of hair, clothes, and lifestyles, you guys are very much in the 80s within the show and within the season, and then like the early 90s. What were kind of some of your favorite clothes and like hairstyles this season?
There's
Ooh,
so many. Like I just think the clothes, the hair, and makeup transform you even more deeper into the character, and it puts you right into that time. And I thought I love the fashion from then, and some of those styles still come back, even today. But I just love the confidence in everyone that was wearing those clothes, and it just put me in a certain mindset whenever I would kind of put Markisha together, so to speak. Yeah.
Right, right. I think the asymmetrical haircuts, I really like those. And then the windbreakers, like, because like you said, to this day, I still love a good windbreaker look. So they brought back those a lot this season, and I loved that style. And the big door knocker earrings.
Da Vinci, what about you? I kind of feel like Pelly Pelly is like a sponsor for this season with the
Yeah,
clothes.
yeah, I definitely like those. I love all the sweatsuits. Like tracksuits is like what I love in real life. So I could throw on any jumpsuit and I'll just be comfortable. So I'm loving that. I'm loving the coats. Um, yeah, like I like the whole fit, and like Lau was saying, it definitely transformed you into the character. It's kind of like your little superhero suit to help you go into that little world and just exist there.
Yes. And we know that the story of BMF goes on for decades. Which era of BMF would you love to see and play your characters in?
The Atlanta era. Yeah, I can't
Sydney
wait for
wants to go to Freaknik.
right.
Wow. Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Right.
What about you, Da Vinci?
I like the '80s. Like we've been doing it. I definitely like the '80s era. Like sometimes I'll be like, damn, if I was like around the '80s, like I would have been cool ass nigga in the '80s. Like I would have had a fro. Like I'd have been killing it.
Awesome. So this season, Terry has a kind of even bigger role because he's a narrator. Eventually, what was it like to come in and revisit this character with kind of bit more confidence and experience?
It was fun. It was great. Like I was like, I love how they're doing it. Like they told Meech's, perspective, season one, season two, now it's T's perspective. I think it was great. It was a clever choice, and it just allows me to just, play with the character more and just have more fun.
Yes. And Lala, how would you say Markisha is different from Lakeisha in power? Hopefully she lives longer.
I think the dynamic between the relationship with Lakeisha and Tommy and Markisha and Terry is completely different. Like Tommy was already established in who he was and what he was doing, and she was just trying to grab onto anything to give her that type of lifestyle. Here, Terry's younger. She sees something in it. In him. She wants to bring it out of him. She's in a marriage that's toxic and not healthy, and she's trying to figure out how to get out of that. It's a completely different dynamic between the two relationships. But I hope just as much as people were invested and loved Lakeisha and Tommy, I pray for the same thing with Markisha and Terry.
Yes. In Sydney, it feels like you kind of have an ally with Lucille. You have the grandbaby. Do you think that Lawanda will able to still be a part of that family, or do you think she's just going to get tired of him eventually and leave because she's already done it before?
Right, right. I feel like she's invested, like I said before, in the family at this point and not just Terry. So, in real life to this day, Lucille was telling me that she's still close with Lawanda. Her name is Rhonda. Yeah, so even though they're not together, they're still, she's close with me, she's close with Lucille. So I think she stays around, but just in a different way because, of the grandbabies.
Yes. What is it like to portray these real characters? Like Terry's out of jail. You're saying Lawanda actually exists. What is it like to kind of tell this big epic story at this level for all of you?
I think there's definitely a responsibility. It's a real story with real characters and real people that are involved. I don't think that's something any of us take lightly. You want to make sure you're doing the story justice, and especially because they're still alive and people live through this era. People know what it's about. You kind of can't fake. You can't fake it, is what I'm saying. You have to really be authentic in your performance and your research behind this time and what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of pressure. Like it's different. Like playing make believe characters is kind of dope because you can just do whatever the hell you want with them. Like sometimes, I'll be in a fitting. I'll be like, yo, bro, I don't want to wear that. Like I'm not gonna. They're like, well, this is not you, Da Vinci. This is Terry Flannery. And I'm just like, damn. But it's just like it's those little things, and sometimes it's even bigger situations that I'll be like, "Yo, like I wouldn't," and I'm like, this is not me. This is not me." And when you playing a make believe character, you kind of have more room to just get away with anything. But it's definitely a little tougher doing this, but it makes it more fun too because it's like this is historical. This is history. This is like a real moment in life. So it's kind of dope.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I feel like it's fun to like learn the things that are real and the things that aren't. Because of course, like a lot of it is embellished, but there were like certain scenes that I would be like, why are we doing this? And then the showrunner would tell me, Randy would tell me, oh, this really happened. They really were going through it because she threw his clothes out. And I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha. That's a real story.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me. Congrats on this season and becoming infamous on Twitter yet again. And hope to talk to you guys about future projects. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.